we talk about your sexy eye triangle?
Yes.
People love the sexy eye
I
triangle.
know.
Yeah, you did it. I got turned on. This podcast is a Dear Media production.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Eat.
Welcome back. Happy March.
It is March.
February flew by.
Yeah, it did. It took me, I was like, what did I do in February?
What did you even do?
I didn't do anything. And it flew by. No.
What did you do last week?
I went.
Tell me every week. Give me your 5 things you did last week.
I'm excited. I went to Miami. I just got back from Miami. We're going to Austin.
Yes.
Got plans on plans.
Oh, right. That'll be this weekend.
Yes.
We will be going to South by Southwest and doing some fun stuff. So this will be the first time that I'm like leaving my fiance since we've moved in, and like he'll be with Azul.
How does it feel?
I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine, but I think this is, I never compare kids with pets because it's not the same. Thank God. But like leaving the dad for the first time with the kid. Like they've fed them, they've walked them, but the full weekend where they're fully responsible, it's different.
I feel like I can trust a man with a dog, not kids.
Yeah, I totally trust him, but it's the first time that I'm going to be like, you're in the home with Azul. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, you have it under control. I know it's like not the same, but
I would trust a man for a week with a dog, like totally fine, no problem. I would not leave my man alone with my child more than a night.
what?
That's a long time. More than a night?
Dads are parents.
Are they? They're like a third.
I better be able to leave. If
They're
I
like
have
a
kids,
third of the squad.
I better be able to leave my man with my kid I'll never have.
I feel like I have a hard time trusting men in the house. I guess men have taken care of kids for a long time. And dogs. I just trust them more with dogs. And I feel like I'm glad I probably won't be a parent because I just know I'll have a helicopter. I helicopter about everything. And
Yeah.
It's hard for me to trust men to do the right thing in my home. And Rob was staying with me last week, and I left to go to Miami before he left the house. And I had to get up and leave the house like 6:30 in the morning. I wasn't going to try to be like, please get up with me and leave. So I allowed him to stay there and lock the house up. And I was like, please, if there's like dishes, just put them in the dishwasher and like lock the house. And he's like, Raina, I'm not an idiot. And I was like, there's 2 doors, please lock them both. And there's a gate, please lock the gate. I wrote all these instructions out. He sent me a video of himself locking the front door. Like, I'm such an idiot. I'm so annoying. He's like, here we go, Raina. I locked the door. He shows me like pulling on the handle. He's in front of it. It was very funny. Like, don't helicopter me. And I was like, you know what? I was too hard on him.
Wait, I thought the punchline was going to be that
I'll
the
tell
door
you.
wasn't locked.
Oh, no, I'll tell you. So I was sitting there on the plane, and I was like, I don't trust it. And I texted Tessa, and I was like, I think Rob's going to be gone 30 minutes. Go check the house.
What?
He forgot to lock the gate.
He had made a whole video of the door and then forgot the gate.
Yes.
Because men can handle one thing at a time. A 2-door situation, forget it. Oh my God.
And I felt bad like having Tessa go over there. Also, Tessa lives really close to me. It's like not that big of a, but I was like, at your leisure, stop over once he's gone. Nope.
Oh my God. That tracks.
So, I mean, imagine doing that, but with your baby.
Yeah.
They did. You give them a list of things and they do half of them, but like one of them is like feed them.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's got to be bare minimum. Just keep him alive. I know. No, he's going to do great. He's like more responsible than me, I feel like.
Yeah, he'll be
He's
great.
my caretaker. He's my babysitter.
All right. I think it's going to go great.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for South by.
Oh my gosh.
And
Well, I haven't been to Austin in so long.
when was the last time you were in
I
Austin?
guess our show, 2023.
Oh, it has been a while.
Yeah. And it was so hot. It was September. We were like sick from the heat.
I've been checking the weather. I feel like you can't, like Texas weather, I never know what it's doing
Yeah.
in the winter. So I'm hoping for 70s. I have cute fits. I just can't wait.
Great. I can't wait.
All right. Well, let's thank our partners and then we'll get right into it. Thanks to Article, get $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more at article.com/GGE, and BetterHelp, get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/GGE.
And thank you to Rocket Money. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions at rocketmoney.com/GGE. and Nutrafol. Get $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you subscribe at Nutrafol.com with code GGE10. And Addie, learn more at Addie.com.
So I just got back from South Beach. I went to the Miami Wine and Food Festival. It was like really a lot of fun. Jeremy got me a press pass so I could like go to all these things. And it just was like the best weekend. But this thing happened on the plane that I was excited to tell you about.
God.
So I was
The plane crashed.
No, I survived. Look at me go.
Yeah.
I was flying back on Sunday night, and the pilot was like talking about the route we were going to take, and he was like, we're going to fly over this and then this and this, which I've never heard a pilot like let you know unless you're going over the Grand Canyon. They're like,
Well, now I think they're trying to reassure you more with everything going on.
Well, he goes, we're going to go here and here, and then we're going to fly over the Gulf of Mexico. And he said it real hard and then just paused.
No! Did anyone clap?
I out loud,
like,
audibly laughed, but people were like looking at me. I was like, I can't believe Ashley's on this flight with me. Like, do I have no community on this plane? I wanted somebody to laugh with me so badly because he paused and then like finished his sentence. It was so funny.
He paused for dramatic effect.
Yes.
It's like a drum roll.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Gulf of Mexico. Like, that's what it is.
But the rest of the weekend was great. I stayed up until like 1:32 in the morning, 3 nights in a row, and that has never happened.
Yeah, it's such a fun thing. I want to do it again next year. I was wondering if it was going to be as fun as you remember it being, because things just like aren't as good as they used to be.
Totally.
Maybe we're aging out, but some festivals are actually not like they used to be. I'm not naming any names, but in their heyday, when we kind of first started the podcast, like certain things were so fun and they've just kind of fallen off.
Or stuff just seems really cool and fun when you first
time.
starting to get all these opportunities, and you're like, I don't know, I don't need to do this shit.
Yeah, but some actually have. So I'm glad to hear that was still the same.
Going strong.
So fun, the fun events and cool people and like fancy parties. And I love to hear it.
Yeah. And like, I just, at these things, like South by is similar. Like, I put a lot of pressure on myself to like have all these plans and parties. And then I'm just like, I don't know, just give myself permission to chill.
I love to do a bunch of stuff.
I know you do.
I'm like, what are we doing Friday night? What are we doing Saturday, early evening, Saturday night, Sunday dinner.
You like a lot of plans.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I got a little worried. I feel like the mom of the group because I am older than everybody else that goes. But
everybody?
A lot of people. Jeremy stayed out and went to like 11 in Bodega every night. And I saw myself home. I mean, I've always been the kind of I don't need to be awake at those hours when everyone's just fucked up, nodding out. I'm fighting through the drunkenness. I'm good.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you talked about this before, but I'm planning Rainapalooza for my birthday party in June, and it's going to be 3 nights. And I just want it to be like nice and early. Like Friday night's just going to be dinner.
Oh.
I'm going to plan like a big dinner out, and then Saturday is festival day. So Saturday is the Palooza.
Oh my God.
So it's going to be like Coachella meets the Hamptons, and we are going to like party, but I'm going to start that party at like 5, and I'm going to have people see their way out by 10:30, and they can go have their own night somewhere else.
No, because it's going to be like summer house. Like there's going to be an after party. I'm going to set up a DJ table. I'm going to have a mic. I will bring my karaoke machine.
So I really am inspired by Summer House for what I want to do for the party. And I was thinking, like, do you think that DJ Kyle Cook would DJ the party?
Maybe. What else is he doing? They haven't started their summer yet.
No, I think they
start on July 4th, I feel like. They always do.
So he's probably not booked and busy.
Yeah. And he's going to want to be in the Hamptons.
Yeah. And if anybody else wants to sponsor the party too.
I'm so dead.
Face Jewels.
Lover boy.
Lover boy. No, I'm very excited, but yeah, I like to plan like a nice early, like maybe Sunday we should do like a beach picnic. One of those like set it up on the beach. Mm-hmm. Everyone's back at the house by 6:30.
Are we doing a boat?
So I was thinking Sunday boat in the morning. Then we do a beach picnic where they like set stuff up.
That feels like 2 aquatic activities, which you don't usually see back to back.
When it's Rainapalooza, you do.
Okay.
I really I like water activities.
Okay. Take a boat to the picnic?
Yeah, I kind of like that idea.
Okay, got it.
So we were like out on the water for a couple hours. Then we docked, and there was like a beach picnic. And it's been I've been like edging. I'm like, when do I send the save the dates? Because like it's February. So right now today it's February. So it's weird to be like plan this thing in the middle of June. But like
it's not.
People plan their summer vacations, and I don't want them to plan something else.
No, I'm starting to get stressed about save the dates for my wedding. And that's November.
Oh, definitely.
Like I'm feeling panic. Like we got to get this shit going.
Get tested and make it on
my
Canva.
2 bachelorette parties.
Oh, that you definitely have to.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our friends are East Coast based. They'll come up to the Hamptons for the weekend.
Yeah.
This is different.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I made the cut.
For what?
The house. 2 tiers.
Can you imagine?
For Rainapalooza?
Can you imagine? I was like, I'm so sorry, Ashley.
You didn't make the cover of the house. I'm dead.
It's 6 bedrooms, and I actually have been like overpromising a little bit. Like I'm just like, come stay at the house. Like I don't know who all these bedrooms are gonna go to.
Oh my god!
But you and I have at least like figured out which buckets of people we're gonna actively tell to just get their own
and who
house.
gets dibs
on the house,
on the bedrooms, like first pick, second pick. I'll tell everybody that. But I'm going to call this Rainapalooza.
Do you think everybody's gonna get it?
No, Rainapalooza sounds really good because it is like Lollapalooza.
That's what I based it on.
Like Ashley Palooza sounds forced and fucking stupid.
Yeah, I did
like the A really works, but I still like Rainal.
And I'm making a big deal out of it. It's gonna be my 40th birthday. I'm just gonna like. Everybody else plans these big fucking things for their weddings, and so like. I mean, you planned a huge thing for your 40th. Like, why not make it a blowout and save the dates? And my sister-in-law and my brother live in London. And I said to her, like, do you think you can make it? And she's like, we have a wedding the weekend before and the weekend after. And I was like, assume this is a wedding.
Yeah.
And you are coming.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah, register. You register.
I sent a link to register.
A bunch of festival outfits. We have to buy you like Revolve, like chains.
Yeah, I'm going to do themed outfits.
I'm
Obviously,
so
there's going to be like...
Raina registers. We have to buy all our clothes.
I was wondering like what I'm allowed to ask people to pay for. Like, so I made a festival flyer and it says day 1, day 2, day 3. Oh. And I'm wondering if I'm like, if you want to come to the Friday dinner, like just Venmo me $50. Like,
here's a QR code. This is so funny. Like, someone's like, I just want a Friday pass. Or someone's like, can I just buy Saturday?
Yes.
Not the 3-day wristband.
Okay, you want to see that? Wait, I love this. I'm going to send wristbands.
Wristbands will be fun. Yeah, put them on the registry.
Okay, I don't know if people can see. I don't want people to see this. So here's
my
the,
God.
This is the Coachella poster.
Coachella. Okay.
And this is the Rainapalooza, day 1, day 2, day 3. I like the idea of wristbands.
Yeah. A workout class. You're not doing that.
Well, I already let Bobby and Izzy know that they have to teach a workout class on the lawn on Saturday morning.
On the great lawn.
I just want them to like kind of just like bicker and tell jokes and like we'll kind of work out. Like maybe it'll be like a relay race.
Oh, that's what you think? Bobby taught a workout class on the morning of Rob's wedding. I was sore for weeks. No. He did not take it easy on us. He has this video of me. We had to do these like wheelbarrow things. He has this video of me. I was fighting for my life. Like they are not going to just dick around. Like it's going to be so intense and it's going to be like a boot camp style.
What if we did like a cute little relay race?
Oh my God.
Well, I've commissioned them to do it.
Okay.
I wanted an activity
I will not
morning.
be doing that. Take that off my wristband.
Okay. What if I send people sign-up
I don't have
links?
access to the workout class.
What if I made like a landing page and there's sign-up links for like which things you want to do?
Yeah,
and
on like the
pay
knot.
for each one. Yes. And my registry is on there for what I want.
I love this.
Thank you.
I can't wait.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to go.
Well, it's funny because I like had to give your birthday as a blackout date when my agent was doing my tour. Uh-huh. So like there's multiple texts and he's like, I know this weekend because of Raina. It's just like very funny. He's like, and then which weekend before Raina? Like everything was just like around this date because he was like, it's a hot date. Mid-June.
He should come too.
Yeah.
He should come too. He should book us some entertainment.
We'll do a show. That's how we'll pay for the weekend.
I love that idea. Girls Gotta Eat show. Well, if anybody wants to like sponsor it and like, give me free stuff, just let me know. You know?
Okay. So we did this episode last week about what do you hide from your partner, and mainly geared towards the girlies and like what you may hide from your male partner, for example. But we asked on Instagram, what is the funniest thing a guy has ever lied to you about? This is kind of the other side of it. The silly things that guys lie about.
This feels like newer, not like a partner. This feels like newer. So, okay, I wrote a couple of my favorites down, but I actually wanted to like discuss this one with you a little bit. So that he would rock my world sexually. I think
it's so funny that she was like the biggest lie you've ever heard.
I always say that like the first time or even the first 2 to 3 times you have sex with somebody, it can be kind of weird and awkward. I think that like everybody has a different bar for like good sex is, quote unquote. Like I dated that guy that was like, I feel like I finally met my sexual match in you. I was like, I literally hate having sex with you.
Yeah.
But I was talking to this guy this weekend and he said to me, I've been like seeing this girl and she like kind of like talked a big game and like kind of lied to me and I was like, what did she do? And she said she was gonna be like the best fuck of my whole life. And he was like, it was so bad. And I was like, I don't think she lied to you. I think that she like think she's like fun and spicy. I don't think they're lying. I think people think that they're like better at it
than they are.
Yeah.
Okay. I would never say that to somebody.
I wouldn't either,
I think
'cause-
that's a wild way to set expectations. Like
Yes.
you want to underpromise and overdeliver.
I worry about telling people, like, when I'm on dates with them that I own a sex toy
Yeah.
company. It immediately makes people think you're going to be, like, so freaky and crazy. And, yeah, of course, I can be like that, but you're not going to get that out of me, like,
Yeah.
except for that guy that teabagged my face. But
But you could interpret it the other way. You could be like, oh, she doesn't even fuck. She just masturbates all the time. You know, but yes, people just think we're like so freaky.
totally. And I could hear somebody on it being like, you're not even ready for what I'm going to do to your body. And I don't know. I would never talk a game like that because I want people to really, I want people to really under anticipate how good I'm going to be at something.
Yeah, under promise, over deliver. I mean, I think that anyone who talks that big game is going to be mid. It's
Yeah.
weird. I think people that are like really good in bed don't really say that. I mean, I'm sure there's some that do. They just know it and they're confident about it and they don't have to tell you, like, I'm about to rock your world, girl. I'm like, oh, ew.
And also,
No, you're not, actually. I changed my mind.
it can feel a little performative.
Yeah.
Like people that are like, I'm about to do the craziest shit. It's like, well, you don't even know what I like.
Well, and the crazy shit, quote unquote, I mean, I think, you know, so many of us, especially in our 20s or college or whatever, had like crazy drunk sex and whatever. But also I didn't have a lot of like moves like I do now. I don't know.
She's got moves now.
Whatever your special things are, whatever your
Special
special
moves.
sauce is, like whatever your signature moves are, like you aren't always pulling those out the first night with a new person.
No, I mean, I think that I give like, I love to give head. I like oral sex. I'm definitely not telling somebody it's about to be the best dick sucking experience of your fucking life. And I'm also like probably not doing that the first couple times we hook up. You're not getting the goods.
Okay, so let's do a couple more lies.
Okay.
He had a black blender bottle saying it was pre-workout. It was Bacardi Zombie. First of all, what is Bacardi Zombie?
What is Bacardi Zombie?
Because as a former Bacardi enthusiast, but just like lying about the alcohol in general is like,
Well, that's really bad.
oh my God.
Wait, let me look.
It's
What
like, it
is
looks like
that?
hypnotic. What? It's like a blue drink. Bacardi Zombie. Premium rum cocktail with citrus, passion fruit, and triple sec flavors. Okay, it's like a malt. Looks like a malt liquor.
That's absolutely insane. And also, like, did you not think somebody was going to smell it on your breath?
Also, is he taking it to the gym?
That is crazy.
He's just like
That's my
fueling up with-
pre-workout.
Yeah.
Lied to me and said that he had furniture. I mean, when you first walk into a man's apartment, there is that moment where you're like, what is about to be in here?
Yeah.
You know, it is like a frightening moment.
Right. Like no furniture, stuffed animals. Okay. So these two, similar vein, needed to break up because he was taking an overseas job opportunity, but he never left. And this could have been the same guy. We should introduce these girls. He was being deployed to Baghdad in 2023. So it sounds like he's still around.
Do you remember during COVID when I was sleeping with my neighbor? And I told him that I had to go back to Pittsburgh to be with my parents. And then I just like, because I didn't want to be around him anymore. And this was during the height of the pandemic quarantine. And I just like ran him into him in the elevator a couple days later. And he was like, I thought you were going home to your parents. And I was like, they died.
They died. Okay. This one, lie or not.
Okay.
Having roommates, but it really was his parents. did he lie?
It's a lie by omission.
Yeah.
If you don't ask the follow-up question of who are the roommates. Okay, he lied that he had an ex-fiance that died.
Oh my gosh, that's
Just
so
wanted
dark.
like a sympathy vote. You wanted you to like sympathy fuck him.
Yeah.
He told me he had a terminal disease.
That is bad karma.
People that lie about
Yeah.
stuff to get your sympathy, and it's like I don't actually like really even know where that's coming from because it's not like I did it so I could fuck her. It's like we'll fuck you for less, and now you're married to this lie.
Right.
The ex-wife or the ex-wife that died or the terminal illness.
He told me he used to take the hot baking sheet out of the oven without an oven mitt. Let me see your hands. I'll prove this right now. He has like soft lady fingers.
Men are so stupid.
No, but what if he has like these calloused hands? You're like, oh, he probably did.
So I can see that actually being true. Like it's just something that like women wouldn't do. Like men have games where they hit each other in the nuts just to see who
Yeah.
can deal with it longer.
I know. Like I can see a man that's like, use an oven mitt, you pussy.
Yes. Okay. He told me it was his birthday, which he faked because he wanted me to just celebrate him.
What? Or get him gifts?
Yep.
Oh my God. Wait, that he got veneers. It was long distance. Did he think I'd never find out? That he got veneers? What's the just look
What's
at
the
his
point of the
teeth.
lie?
Why would you lie about it? Wouldn't you lie and say you don't have veneers? You want people to think those are your natural teeth?
But like, okay, I'm wondering if he said like, I have veneers, not like I'm getting them.
Can you think of a time a guy lied? I mean, all the times. Like one that sticks out. I had a guy, oh my God, this was a guy that I had an off and on hookup thing in college. And then we both lived in Atlanta after college. And we saw each other a couple times. And I was like, okay, now we can date, And so one night we were hanging out and he was like, I want to like take you out and like, try to do this or whatever. I couldn't even function all day at work. I've never been so excited in my life. And then like a couple hours before, he said his friend died. And never rescheduled.
That's crazy.
I mean, maybe he did, but doubt it.
Okay, I have 2 lies.
Okay.
That jogged my memory of a lie. So this was the guy that we met in New York. You and I met him at the same time at an event. He asked me out.
Yeah.
We had a date planned for Saturday. And then, what did he tell me? He forgot that his friend's wife died and he has to go to the funeral this afternoon.
Oh my God. Yes, memory unlocked.
Remember that guy?
Yes.
And then this one guy he didn't live in New York. He kept bugging me to come to New York for the weekend. He like really wanted to come, whatever. And I had said, okay. And then he said, I actually can't. I have COVID and I'm really sick. And I was like, all right. And I went to look at his Instagram story from my profile and he had no stories up. And then I looked at his story from Girls Gotta Eat and he was snowboarding with his friends.
No. No, he thought he could get away with it. Like, we don't have multiple accounts.
He forgot to just block the stories from Girls Gotta Eat. And when I confronted him about it, he gaslit me and acted like he had. I don't even know how to do that right now. I don't even know how to block people from my stories. Because I was like, how are you feeling? And he was like, I don't really feel good. And I was like, you could go out and like, just like go skiing or something. Like people, you could be outside. And he was like, Raina, I have COVID. I was like, no.
Oh my God.
So anyways, that was like a fun little lie. And then just little things, I guess. I haven't really dated a lot of people that would lie to me. That would not be really.
Well,
that wouldn't really happen.
I'd live to catch someone in a lie. You can't date me. I'm an FBI agent. Like you can't lie to me. Like I don't know. I don't want to date somebody. I need to catch them in lies. But I've caught like plenty of people in lies.
All right. Well, I want to wrap it up with my favorite thing that we actually still aren't sure if it's a lie, but it has haunted me for so many years.
Okay. No, like this is like one of our favorite things as best friends. Like we're gonna let you guys in on it.
We've talked about this for 5 years.
We've talked about this, yeah. So this text got sent in 2022.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it was in April, right? It was April,
March. So I met this guy in early 2022.
This is the anniversary of the We Don't Know It's a Lie.
Yes. It's coming up on the 3-year anniversary. So we met in January 2022. We talked off and on. Probably again in like March. That's when he wrote full transparency, I miss you. So he sent me this like Sunday evening text, like full transparency, I miss you. And I said, how convenient, I'm coming to where he lives next week.
What had happened was we had a show in Portland and we were going to do a layover there.
So then I touched base and there was a whole thing of if he was going to be in town or not, because he had to go to a bachelor party. And he had told me like the bachelor party was starting on like Wednesday. And I was like, that's a long bachelor party. Could be a lie.
Could be a lie.
But
we're not sure.
We weren't going to get into town until like Thursday. It was like, I wanted to see him. Like we were like excited about it. You and I were going to go together. You were going to hang out with this friend, whatever. So I wrote to him. I was like, the next day or 2 days later, and I was like, hey, Sunday feels, that's what I called him. Are you still starting your bachelor party on Wednesday or will you be in town? I'm nailing down my plans. Because if he wasn't going to be in town, I wasn't going to go with you. I was just going to go straight to Portland. And he said, I love the new nickname. And then he said, but unfortunately, I still have to start this bachelor party on Wednesday night. It was $400 to change it to Thursday, and all of my money is tied up in equities.
This has haunted us for years. Ashley was like, if that was a joke, it's like
high
level joke. I texted my brother who works in finance and I'm like, I was like, am I misunderstanding what equities are? Like, would somebody not be able to have access to $400 because all their money was tied up in equities?
No, again, like I was like, did he just deeply insult me? So, but like, or is he trying to flex? Like he was younger than me. He knew I made more money. Like he was kind of like between jobs. Like I don't know if this was like a flex, like him trying to speak my language, whatever. I don't know.
Right. Did he think that she'll be turned on by equities.
But it's so crazy because you could have just been like, I wish I could, but the flight change fee is like a lot. Like you didn't have to bring equities into it.
I know, like how did you even think of equities in this scenario?
And I don't know if I ever responded. I think I just was like, oh my God. I mean, I think we just made fun of it for 3 years. And like, I don't even know.
We don't know.
I've spoken to him since. Like, I don't know.
I still talk to the friend all the time.
He's a good guy.
Okay, I wonder if he was like, actually $400 was a lot for him. He was between jobs. And so he was making like a self-deprecating joke.
Again, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
If it was a joke, it was really funny.
I know. But
like it's really high level.
I know.
He's saying like, I'm broke and I can't afford this. And he threw it's very funny. Listen, guy, if you're listening, let us know. I'm going to circle back. Hey, was this a joke?
For your wedding, I'm going to get you the gift of asking him if that was true or not.
Now it feels so like, let's just ask him. You ask him.
I will ask him.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know.
Okay.
All right. Well, we have a great episode for you guys. We're just going to thank some partners and then jump into it.
I am telling you guys about Nutrafol. Cannot imagine my life without it. I have been using this for such a long time to deal with hair thinning, shedding, hair issues. I had a time in my life where I was really dealing with a lot of hair thinning and shedding, and my hair just looked really different. And this is really what I turned to try to get it back. And I noticed such a difference. I take 4 capsules a day. I use the women's formula, but there are different formulas. So you can just try to find the one that works for you because everybody has a different hair journey. And Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand trusted by over 1.5 million people. You can see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Everyone's root causes of hair thinning are different. So one size fits all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. So they will target those root causes and figure out what's going on. Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure the efficacy. In a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol Women hair growth supplement for 6 months. Again, like I can't imagine my life without it. Like I really do notice such a difference, how much hair is on the shower wall, you know, when you wash and condition your hair. And so I just feel like it's really gotten so much better. And this is exactly the thing that I can point to for why. So you guys can start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code GGE10. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code GGE10. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code GGE10.
Okay, and you guys know I'm obsessed with decorating my house and making it look a certain way. An article makes it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price. I'm crazy about their site. They offer a curated range of all kinds of styles. So I really veer towards the coastal kind of boho, but they do mid-century modern, Scandi-inspired pieces. It'll pair perfectly what you already have in your house, and it's quality without compromise. The stuff is so high quality, and you get really meaningful pieces and meticulous packaging. The weight and feel of the product is great. It comes mostly assembled. And I just was thinking, like, what's a nice way to kind of upgrade the whole feel of your room? So if you want to do like your living room, essentially, you could do just the coffee table and get some decor. I love this Surrey 44-inch square coffee table, and they have decor pieces on the site as well. And if you're just like, I have no idea how to decorate a home, they have a whole ideas and inspiration section. So you can see how other people styled it. I know that it just doesn't come natural to everybody. So that'll make it easy to style any room in the house. They have great, fast, affordable shipping and assembly, 30-day satisfaction guarantee, and support when you need it. So their support is absolutely fantastic. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/GGE, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/GGE for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right, guys, we are so excited to welcome back a guest to the show today. She is a certified sex educator and the internet's most famous sexologist. She is the host of the podcast Lovers, the best-selling author of the book The Game of Desire. Her newest project is out now. It is a class on MasterClass called The Art of Sex Appeal, where she teaches you to master the art of flirting, strengthen emotional connection, reignite physical passion, and boost intimacy. And for the first time, she's back on the show with her partner. He is a cinematographer, producer, musician, low-key sex expert. He produced... He also produces the content for their shared company. Please welcome to the show, Shan Boodram, and for the first time, Jared Brady.
Yay! That was good. Tell it.
You've been doing this.
7 years. 7 years she's been doing this. I've never done one.
As I'm doing it, I'm like, don't fuck up, don't fuck up. Everyone's counting on you.
Were you good at reading aloud in class as a kid?
Thank you for bringing this up. I could not. I was terrified of reading. I hated it. And for the podcast for years, I like couldn't. I was always this funny thing. Rain is bad at reading. Every time I had to read anything, I was like, Ashley can do it. Like emails from people on stage, and the whole time in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna fuck it up. But I read a lot now, and I think it's improved my dictation.
That's so empowering that
it
you're
was
like, you know what?
very
You should do
impressive.
it. It was very impressive.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, Shan, you've been on the show twice. This is your third time.
I
We're
know.
so excited
A
to have you
three-peat.
back, and congratulations to both of you on the class with MasterClass.
Oh,
Yes.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk a little bit about your relationship because we did probably hear about it. Jared was your booty call, essentially. And
Yes.
Now you have 2 children. And can you just tell us how it's going?
How you went from booty call to parents?
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic love story.
It's the best.
Just kind of slid in F-boy style, and then became a changed man.
I just love your relationship and the way you guys speak about each other. You posted something that I sent to my fiance that I forget what it was. What was it?
Was it I love you the way that I wish to love myself?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it brought me to tears, and I just really love seeing you guys navigate your relationship and be open about it. And obviously you're both on MasterClass together, but it's just really special to see.
Oh, thank you. Yours relationship is so special. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I saw you guys talking about it on Gayle King too. That's the thing.
Gail was horny.
Yeah.
Gail was like,
horny.
Ashley, you're in love, and Raina, you're single. And I was like, I'm on national television. Get caught out by Gail.
Maybe she was flirting. Maybe she's like, and you're single.
Oh, it was cute. It was very cute.
I have never explored women before, but I've always been attracted to older women.
Okay.
And I actually think that I have a shot with an older woman
Okay.
whom...
Gail?
No, maybe. Maybe
if you're
Gail
listening.
Basima.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm doing this jewelry line called Comma with her. It's like a sex jewelry line. We talk about it in the class on MasterClass. But yeah, like I think that older women are so sexy. There's just something like special. So that's why I'm just giving you and Gail a moment because I think it's really. I think
That
it'd
is
be cute
hilarious. You're shipping Raina and Gail.
together.
But do you not think Gail's with Oprah?
Yeah. No, I
don't know.
I don't think that. Jared,
It's weird.
what's your thoughts?
It's weird because like Gail
think that.
Gail reminds me of my grandma, and so like my dad's mom, I just have a really endearing like vibe with her.
Yeah.
So thinking
Can't
of
see
her
her
in this
fucking.
way is like throwing me off.
You can't see me and Gail fucking, or Oprah and Gail fucking.
No, hey, if you do, more power to you. It's probably fun.
I wonder what Oprah's like sexually.
Don't we all?
Yeah. And she is one of the
She has a
prototypes?
seduction style
Seduction
called
style.
the Oprah.
The Oprah.
Which
yes.
when you're around her, you feel like you're living in a dream come true. Not just because you're with Oprah, but she like speaks to your highest potential.
Yes.
Like
Okay.
she talks to you like you're so smart, so enlightened, so important. So I think that that's a real gift.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about sexual fantasies the other day, and I was explaining one of my fantasies to Jared. He was like, what? I'm like, sometimes my fantasies aren't about things that I want to do or things that I'm interested in or people I'm attracted to. It's just like scenarios that I'm intrigued by. So I think Oprah having sex will probably make it into the bank just because I'm intrigued by like what that could mean and look like.
Now I'm thinking about
Maybe
it.
Raina and Gail will make it there as well.
Are you going to masturbate to me and Gail?
I think
Are you guys
so.
going to talk?
Sounds like that.
Jared isn't. Jared's like, she's like my grandma. I can't think about her fucking. No.
He's like, please stop bringing up Raina and Gail, Shan. When we're fucking. Please stop talking about them. Shan's in the bedroom like, what would Raina and Gail be doing right now?
Yes. What
Talk
would
to me
they
like I'm
say?
Gail.
That's very fascinating. It's a very fascinating dynamic. Very sexy.
So talk to us about like the research and the idea. I mean, who better to create a masterclass on sex appeal? But talk to us about the idea and the creation of it.
Well, I was actually first on this show years ago when my book came out, The Game of Desire, which was 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
Which feels like a very bizarre thing to say. And so in essence, the masterclass it's like a collection of everything I've talked about for the past 20 years in 2 hours. It genuinely is everything I know about sex and seduction in 2 hours. So the first episode is just all about the spots, the positions, the ways of thinking about yourself, the new kinks you can invite into your world, the no's that you should be considering. And then episode 2 is all about sex appeal and seduction. So Jared helped to co-write episode 1 with me, which was really fun because we just took all of these sex courses from like these various sex experts. There was this sex expert, Kenneth Powers?
No, but I'll make a note of it.
He's fascinating. So I think he was like GQ sex expert for a while, and then Jared came back with all these new techniques. So it was like a joy.
You gotta try it out. Yeah, it's like, oh, you know what you're talking about? Let's find out. Let's
The
see
research
what
for this
happens.
sounds fun.
Yeah. For me, thing about sex is like always, it's a long life. So we're exploring. So maybe somebody has a technique that I've never tried before. I'm like, oh, maybe let me see how that works out. It makes sense. And then I get to try it on Shan, and then she gets to tell me if it was good. Should we put it in the masterclass or not?
Yeah.
We didn't put this one in the masterclass, but I was just talking about it being one of my favorites. The throwing the leg over the back. Can you explain it?
Oh, yeah. Like if you're fingering a girl or a woman. And
Jared wrote the fingering portion of the masterclass, by the way, you guys. He's the resident fingering expert.
Yeah, apparently. But it's the angles that make it good. And so if you're like sideways and she's, laying straight, if you put her leg over your back, it just opens her up in a way that allows your hand to get into a space and really get to the spots, specifically the A spot. So
Okay. I like this. I think people don't really talk much about various fingering techniques.
They should.
But I'll notice when my partner kind of comes in from behind, it's hotter. It feels better.
Deeper.
What do you mean from behind?
Like
Like you're in a cuddle position.
yeah. Yeah. It's not on, it's from the back.
Like this?
Like fingering from behind.
Like up through.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Like a doggy finger. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jared gets it.
I know. I'm thinking, yeah, I got
Is that
you.
weird? Are we being
No.
weird?
No,
Not
that's
at
not
all.
weird at all.
Okay.
All of it is good. I think we talked about this in the class too, is the power of off-kilter touch. That's something that Jared does really, really well. And that essentially means you can't get bored of sex if you're being authentic and intuitive to the moment. And sometimes authentically, you're in a certain position where it's not natural to put your hand in the usual way. So you have to come from behind. So when you're responding to what's around you or how you feel or what the vibe is that day, the sex is always going to be different. And so off-kilter touch essentially means touching your partner in a way that you're like, oh, that's different. It may not be like usual, but it just wakes your body up and makes you think like, oh, like that was interesting.
Well, it grounds you. It's like it reminds you that this is real life, because it's a different touch. I know for me, what I get out of it, if I'm just going through the motions and like, oh, she likes to be grabbed this way or she likes to be held this way and this is comfortable. If I do that consistent enough, I kind of can drift mentally. But if I grab her in a way that's just like completely instinctual, that's different, that might be like weird, it kind of puts us in the moment of like, whoa, that was different. And then now we're connected.
Now you have to focus.
Yeah.
Keep it spicy.
When we first started having sex, he wasn't into cuddling, but we were fuck buddies. We talked about this last time I was on your guys' podcast, how I had a cuddle buddy
Oh, right.
because Jared was not a cuddler. So I was like, that's fine with me. And I didn't really want to create that kind of pair bond with him.
First of all, when we started dating, her house was so hot. So it was less about me not liking to cuddle.
I feel you on
and
that.
more
Temperature issue.
Yes, let's get some airflow going
so
on.
I wasn't
true.
in my air conditioning phase, okay? So
No, when we used to fuck those skinny guys in Denver, they didn't have AC in the house. And I was like, don't touch me. Like, we were so hot. That was summertime.
Oh, that was bad.
That was
my
bad.
period. It was like so bad. It was really so hot.
So many fluids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So what Ashley and I really gravitated towards, and you start the second episode of the masterclass with this, is talking about the art of seduction and sex appeal as being something that you learn. That essentially, like, I think so many people are like, well, I don't feel sexy. I don't know that I have sex appeal. I can fuck when I'm in the sexy mood, but like day to day, I don't feel that I have those things. And I think that you just totally take all the pressure out by being like, yeah, we teach this. This is a learned skill.
I think it is. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think that is helpful for people to hear that you don't have to be born this way. Like the people that are really good at this and communicating and connecting learned it and practiced it. So yeah, we wanted to talk with you guys. You don't have to go through every single step, but if you're listening, you guys should watch the masterclass. But you really have like tangible to-do list, eye contact, how long to hold it, this sexy eye triangle. You really, people want that. They're like, don't just tell me I need to make eye contact. Tell me how to do it and how long to do it and where to shift my eyes. Like, we really like the specificity of how to connect with somebody from across the room.
Because the dream is meet people in the wild, but I think people are like, okay, I'm in the wild, now what the fuck? So can you talk about some tips and tricks? Like, you've made it to the bar, you're out.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, it is just making yourself approachable. We're not good actors. Leonardo DiCaprio is a good actor, but most of us are not good actors. So if internally you're thinking, I'm not comfortable, I don't want to be here, I feel awkward, as much as you're like, but I'm not showing it, yes, you are. So it really is about first starting off with yourself. And embodiment is the notion that the mind and the body work together, and that there's actually no master and then there's no control panel, that they work intuitively in sync. And so sometimes if mentally you're like, I don't feel comfortable, moving your body can actually make that shift. And oftentimes when we want a different result, we have to change more than our mind. So if you're out and you want to invite touch, you want to invite dialogue, you want to invite connection, first think about, okay, how my body is. Like, am I, pelvis to pelvis with whoever it is that I want to connect with? Are my shoulders down? Is my purse up to indicate that I'm trying to leave right now? Or is my purse down? Am I smiling? Am I relaxed? Am I making eye contact? So going through a mental checklist that your body is communicating exactly what you want, that also too communicates to your brain, oh, this is like the mode that we're in right now. And there's something magnetic about somebody who is just having a good time. So it's just really important to make sure that first and foremost, and that we can all control that. I think the second thing is just there's all the tips I gave from the stripper. That to me, she was such an illuminator. There's probably more strippers I can learn from him. Jared probably has a couple tips that he's learned from strippers before.
Probably.
But I think, like learning from the pros who like know how to approach people and who do it a lot. What do they do? What's worked best? What are their best practices? So definitely a lot of this is derived from pickup artists. A lot of it is derived from strippers, and then just from everyday people who found their flow. Do you guys have a thing that you do when you're out, a line that you say?
I'm a big fan of eye contact, and I'll make frequent eye contact, and I make a concerted effort to like smile during the eye contact, maybe the second or third time, because I don't want people to think they just happen to be in my eyesight. I want them to know, like, approach me.
Or she's just like staring and then like thinking of something
Licking
else.
her lips. I mean, I think the crossing the physical barrier is so important. If I meet somebody or I'm on a date with them, a first date, like I am clocking whether they have touched me, whether I've touched them. I think it is the most, and some people are just touchy.
Oh, yeah.
Some people are just naturally like that. But I think it's so important to touch someone to show you like that. Like, I don't mean, grope them, but playful on the arm, on the knee, and that feels scary to some people, right? Like, don't you think you could be like flirting, be like, oh my God, I touched a stranger, but that's what I think, how I express that I'm interested in somebody.
Yeah, I like the tip the stripper gave. She said to lead with consent, because it can be like, oh, something's on your shirt. Can I get it for you?
Right.
Like, oh, like your pants are really cool. Can I touch them?
Can I touch your pants?
Right. I mean, he does have his pants are fuzzy. So why would you not?
He's inviting.
Why would you not? It's giving grandma's couch. I want to touch that.
This is so funny. That's his erogenous zone, his shin. He's like, could you touch my shin?
Yeah, please. Just
Oh, it's up there too. Okay.
Can we talk about your sexy eye triangle?
Yes.
people love the sexy eye
I
triangle.
know.
Yeah, you did it. I got turned on. I was like, oh, okay, we've seen this move like in the movies even.
But it gets different reviews, because I think some people are like, it's giving serial killer. It's giving double chin. So I think what's really important with the MasterClass in general is to note that it's 2 hours of tips. We have taken in so much information, as you guys have from your plethora of books, all the work that you do as sex educators as well. So you know that there's a take it and leave it component to everything. Sure. Some things you're like, that's going to work. Some things aren't.
Right.
So this is not like everybody's foolproof tip. But in essence, I think it works, because different levels of eye contact communicate different things, right? So looking somebody directly in the eye is showing attentiveness and respect. We can actually provide that to a lot of people, though, to teachers, to grandmas, etc., to puppies. Looking down at somebody shows like dominance. It shows strength and power. Looking up at somebody shows admiration, submissiveness. So how do we combine all of those to make it very clear to someone that we don't mean respect, we maybe mean submissive, but not all the way, and we don't mean dominance? We kind of want a mix of all three. So sexy eye triangle is just that, where you look somebody in the eye, and then you drop your chin down, look at their body, and then flick it back up.
Shan. Sexy.
We talked about this before, where people are in their head insecure about doing something that is going to make them look silly, or there's probably a narrative of like, that person's going to go back to their friend group and be like, can you believe that this, but no one's ever going to be like, oh, this girl looked at me, from across the room. Can you believe her? What a creep, So I think it's like the most innocuous but meaningful thing is looking at somebody, is eye contact.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people, and I actually got a lot of shit for this because I was like, just practice on the waiter, practice at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Do it in low stakes environments where you don't really care like where it leads to. When it matters, it's going to be like riding a bike.
You're practicing.
Yeah, just do it. Flirt with people all the time. Flirt
Right.
with, whenever you're, going through regular life when it's not like the stakes are super high. Like, I really want this person. And I think that's, some people are like, but you're leading someone on.
No,
it's like,
flirt with the TSA guy.
Exactly.
You're never going to see.
It makes everyone's experience better.
I actually love that tip.
I love it. I'm surprised you got chick because I think this is like any muscle that you flex. You have to like practice it.
But it's probably because I'm a guy. And I said it. So they're like, oh, they got so many guys who led them on and took them on a wild group.
I think
goose
you're
chase.
saying look someone up and down
Exactly.
at the airport.
Exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly.
I flirt with everybody. We sat there. Remember we flirted with that security guard at the airport?
Oh my
TSA
God.
agent?
He was looking up our podcast on his computer. I'm like, is that a federal computer? Are you allowed to do that?
We've
It was
been here
crazy.
for 10 minutes.
I was upset he didn't DM one of us. Chris from Tampa?
Miss you, Chris. Yeah, I like it. Practice the skill because
Yeah.
I think that like it really comes natural to me. I had like a body that looked really sexual at a young age. I was always really sexual my whole life. It comes natural to me to like lead with sex a little bit, but I don't know that that's so normal and natural for people, especially when you're also not feeling yourself that day. You're on your period, you don't like how you look, you gained some weight, or you don't like your outfit. And so I don't know that it's so natural for people to like make sexy eye contact with somebody you like at a bar. Just do it with the grocery store guy.
Yeah.
I think TSA, that's my move. My mom is such a natural flirt, and like the way she speaks
I love
to
that
waiters.
sentence.
Like I feel like we'd be at dinner. I'm
She
like,
is.
my dad is like, oh, there she goes again. Like my dad's like right in front of me. Like she's just naturally flirty. I like watching her talk to people.
Me too.
Like when I was a kid, I was a little embarrassed.
Now it's what a thrill.
Yeah,
I hope our kids say that about us one day.
100%.
Aw.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
that's
that'd be
goals.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so just going to take a quick break, and I am telling you guys about Rocket Money. You guys know how it works. You're going to sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, then you're charged month after month after month, and the subscriptions are there, but you're not even using them. So I think we can all relate to this. In fact, 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. And Rocket Money is going to be the solution to this. With Rocket Money, I can see all my subscriptions in one place and cancel the ones I'm not using anymore. And now I'm saving more money. So Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. And I really love it. I really love how easy it is to use. They have a great dashboard. It gives you a clear view of your expenses across all your accounts. You can create a budget. You can see how much you're saving. And Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. So again, we really love it. We recommend it. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/GGE today. That's rocketmoney.com/GGE, rocketmoney.com/GGE.
And this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. So think about your favorite leaders, mentors, idols, and they don't have all the answers, but they do know when to ask for help or seek support from their community. And in a society that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better when we have a support system behind us. I mean, everything in my life has been easier, better, more clear because I have a support system. And obviously, therapy can be a real source of support for any area in your life, and it's time to shift the focus from like doing it all, knowing it all, and being able to handle everything and asking for help. Therapy is a great way to learn positive coping skills, figure out what your next moves are, what are your goals for the future, what do I do with my career or my love life. There's so many things that it can just help you in order to empower you to be the best version of yourself. And BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com betterhelp.com/GGE today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/GGE.
Okay, Raina, let me ask you a question. How would you feel if you lost your libido?
My sex drive, is that like a serious question? I'd never recover.
I know, right? Well, the fact is, millions of premenopausal women are frustrated because they lost their libido. But we're here to let you know that there's a treatment called Addyi that is clinically proven to boost libido in certain premenopausal women. And this isn't some sketchy gas station pill. It's FDA approved. Talk to your doctor to see if Addyi is right for you. And again, it is clinically proven.
I love that women have this option.
Same. You can go learn more at Addyi.com. That is ADDYI.com.
Addyi, or flibanserin, is for premenopausal women with acquired generalized hypoactive sexual desire disorder, HSDD, who have not had problems with low sexual desire in the past, who have low sexual desire no matter the type of sexual activity, the situation, or the sexual partner. The low sexual desire is troubling to them and is not due to a medical or mental health problem, problems in the relationship, or medicine or other drug use. Addyi is not for use in men or to enhance sexual performance. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is increased if you drink 1 to 2 standard alcoholic drinks close in time to your Addyi dose. Wait at least 2 hours after drinking before taking Addyi at bedtime. Your risk of severe low blood pressure and fainting is also increased if you take certain prescriptions, over-the-counter or herbal medications, or have liver problems. Low blood pressure and fainting can happen when you take Addyi, even if you don't drink alcohol or take other medicines. Do not take if you are allergic to any of the ingredients in Addyi. Allergic reactions may include hives, itching, or trouble breathing. Sleepiness, sometimes serious, can occur. Common side effects include dizziness, nausea, tiredness, difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, and dry mouth. See full PI and medication guide, including boxed warning, at addyi.com/PI or call 844-PINK-PILL. Addyi.
That is ADDYI.com.
Okay, so I want to go back to something you said before, because Ashley and I love this, like conversation tips from strippers. And so like you've made the eye contact, the person's walked over, like now, like what do you do? I think people are like, what the fuck do I say now? So like why the strippers and what did you learn?
I actually loved what the tip that she gave is that you want to approach people who want to be approached. And sometimes you don't know that until you actually go over. So it's like looking for multiple different cues. So the first cue is to invade their bubble. Do you get the eye contact? Okay, great. But perhaps they're just thinking about their laundry list and they were zoned out and then you're just in their eye line. So you're not sure.
You
so
caught a
then,
stray.
Yeah. So then you're like, okay, I caught a stray. Let me just like make sure. So I'm gonna do a gesture. I might wave at the person or like look over and then look back or like make a funny face at somebody else or be like, oh, cute shoes or something. And if they're responsive, like, okay, maybe I'll go over. She said, when you approach somebody, when you're at a restaurant and your food's coming, what do? You know, you shift stuff around, you make space on the table. Yeah, your food is coming, like you're excited. So she's like, if I'm approaching somebody and I don't notice them shift or primp or something, I just walk away. So, and that also may be that person's cue to be like, oh, what happened? And that could create a stronger bond. But if she walks over and they start shifting things around, she's like, okay, I've got this person.
Even just kind of puffing up, like a guy
even
might
just
straighten
sitting
his
up.
posture.
Yeah, just, squaring up to you something. Like, give me something here. And then she goes over again and it's another check, a temperature check. And this is Jared's famous line when he goes out and talks to people. What's your thing? Are you from the town?
It always changes. Like, I'll try to figure out a way to relate to that person. So I'm going to gauge for information, you know, where are you from? You know, is this your first time here?
Yeah.
What drink is that? You know, and then try to relate to them in some way so that they feel connected in a way.
And then if they brush you off and they're cold, it's not a rejection. It's like, oh, this is just a redirection to go somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
I love the framing of you haven't been rejected, you've been redirected to someone that is going to be responsive.
Well, you're rejected if you're like, I like you. Do you like me?
Yeah.
That's not a redirection. That's a no. But you don't give them that chance.
Yeah.
You don't give them the chance to shut you down.
But also, too, it's like at that level, I don't know if any normal person is just going to be super flat out mean yet. I think it's going to take
weird.
It's going to take a little bit of conversation to
People are
find out.
cold. I think you could tell.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody like, you know, I'm at the CVS and then someone's just like, oh, like you look really beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. And I just walk by. That's obviously,
okay. Yeah, that
it's
makes
just
sense.
that initial line is just a seed. They didn't put any of their cards on the table, but they made that first contact. And then you get the receptiveness or you don't.
Yeah.
Also, like, I think there's plausible deniability that you're just trying to, like, make a friend. We were at a sports bar the other day.
Exactly.
And there was this guy who was so beautiful. We were all just like, that's the hottest guy here. And he has a lot of tattoos, and so do I. And so I was like, I just asked him what one of his tattoos was.
Yeah, you did great.
Thank you so much.
We were watching her in action.
Everyone was just like rooting for me. And then we started talking about like what his dumb tattoo was about, and it's connected to some dumb movie. And then we started talking, but like then you're in a conversation with somebody. But also like if the conversation naturally kind of dies, then I don't know. I was at a sports bar making a friend. Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, how did it end?
It could just kind of died. He started talking to me about Luke Skywalker and Harry Potter, and I was I'm gonna go back to my group.
But then
Take you out. Take you out.
So you, at that point, you rejected.
I think if he had come over, I would have kept talking to him. It felt like there was like a natural end to the conversation.
which is like people are friendly, you know. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's where it gets a little dicey of like, because you never know, someone has a partner, you know,
Yeah.
they could be not your sexual orientation. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking of, remember that time that guy in Philly, he was really talking to me at length and really took a lot of my time up, and it was very flirty. And I probably talked
She
to
was
him.
trying to search for a nice way to say it.
I talked to him at a close range, flirty, and then drops my girlfriend such a fan. I was like, I cannot believe you did this to me.
Jared, I feel like you say you have the opposite problem when you go out because he'll be talking to people.
I try to throw it in there
Early.
real quick.
But
Yeah.
it makes it weird. And then he's like,
Oh wait, too early is weird too, because you're like,
Yeah.
I wasn't as
presumptuous.
I wasn't hitting
I
on
try
you.
to well, I can feel the vibe, you know? So a lot of times I just like pull my hand up so that
Oh,
they
right,
can
you're
see.
wearing a ring.
But it just makes it weird. Cause I'm always like, but we're cool. Like we can still like hang and flirt and do stuff. But yeah, they don't like that.
she's really chill. She's so chill, I swear.
You should meet her. She's
Yeah.
great. She can watch.
I always say to them like, okay, wouldn't I just lie and just take the ring off?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, Jared has a lot of single friends, so he'd be going out and just wanting to be in the vibes, having a good time. So you want to just talk to people. You want to be a human being, you know, who's out at a space in a bar, and you want to connect with other people. And then if you say that you're in a relationship, it almost seems as if you're telling the other person, shut it down. Mm-hmm. But you're not. You're just trying not to be mentioned on a podcast where the person is like, for 20 minutes.
Just be aware, and then like it just gets weird after that. Then they're just like, oh,
Well, are you guys open at all?
yeah. And
Okay.
theory, we talked about this the other day.
We talked about this
In theory,
yesterday.
we have 2 kids. Life is crazy.
Yeah.
It's so busy. We barely have time to sleep.
Yeah.
So like the idea of like being involved with another person right now just sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
But
So-
to explain to other people who are like, wait, are they open or not? Like, you guys are not 100% monogamous.
Yeah, no,
Currently.
we're open.
Okay.
I think we're
Yeah.
open to being open.
Yeah.
Which, you know what? For a long time, I felt that was like a disappointment to people because they're like, either you fuck someone or you haven't. And I'm like, there's got to be other people out there who are in the same boat as us, wherein
Yeah.
the idea is there. I love the fact that I have that kind of freedom. I have flirt buddies. Jared has had flirty experiences. We've had definitely non-monogamous experiences before within our relationship, but I don't think in the traditional way that people think about openness that we've just gone there yet. And it's also hard. Like, what? I got to find somebody else I'm attracted to, who's attracted to me, who understands the importance and the role of my husband, who also gets it and like wants whatever it is that I have available to offer. Like, there's a lot of different like layers to this that make it difficult, I think.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
tired. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
all the stuff you do, and you have kids, you have each other. What, are you gonna get a dating app and like meet a stranger?
I don't know. I gotta say though, there are a lot of people who have been like, I was inspired by yours and Jared's journey, and like, and
Yeah.
now we have a unicorn. I'm like, what are we doing wrong?
Yeah,
Everybody else is like advancing so
Working.
quickly.
We're working.
Was it different before you guys had kids? I mean, you have a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah, I think it was different before we had kids. We had a lot more time, and the ability to connect with somebody was a lot easier back then. Right now, I just can't see where they would fit.
Yeah, but even just the flirting, I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some couples who don't even know that they're operating in an open way where they both are going out and flirting, because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think people want to feel sexual and desired, and that they can still flirt and get that rush, but they don't want to take it any further than that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure people are out there, like my mom.
I've always been like that. I mean, it's weird because I don't want to see my partner do that necessarily, but like,
Some people
I know
do.
that I have boundaries and I know I can take it up to a certain line and then I can stop. And yeah, just because you find a partner doesn't mean that you're just you're blind to everybody else on earth.
But you could be. I think that's why like there's like levels of everything is on a spectrum, right? I'm very grateful to have a partner who sits on the same space of the spectrum as me, and that we're navigating it slowly, but also with a lot of curiosity and excitement. I just know from me from the beginning when I talk about sex for a living, and my previous partner would come to talks that I did, and a big part of it is making other people feel sexy. It's flirting, it's connecting. So I brought an ex-partner to a show, and then afterwards he was pissed. He just like wouldn't talk to me. He's like, I felt so disrespected. You didn't let people know that you had a boyfriend. You didn't make that clear. I'm like, well, that's going to kill the fantasy and the vibe. I brought Jared to a show I did for Playboy, and I brought this guy on stage and I tied him up. I gave him a lap dance. Jared was like, that was hot.
Right.
So like, that's
Exactly.
important to find a partner who looks at that part of you and is attracted to you. Like, I really feel like you are attracted to all of me.
Yeah.
Even the parts of me that like spill over into the rest of the world and vice versa.
And also, when we first started dating, like the number one question was like, how do you do it? Like, are you okay? And I'm like,
to you about her work.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
yeah. What?
Yeah.
I don't understand what the issue is, but I think it always stems down to like a lot of men. There's like a pressure to society to be like, she is claimed.
Territorial.
You know?
Yeah.
And so I think there's like a pressure and insecurity there that a lot of men feel that I just never battled with. And also in like past relationships, because I wasn't so jealous, it used to cause issues. Like, why are you not jealous? Like, do you not care?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's tremendously sexy for somebody to watch their partner do something that's maybe a little outside the norm and be so proud of it. And we talk about this, Ashley and I, like that person they chose you. They can have, Shan's on stage talking about sex, stripping for people. And she chose you at the end of the day. And there's power in that. And you should feel confidence in that.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it's also okay.
Totally.
And that's the thing. That's the compatibility factor of it. I think monogamy is so beautiful. I think when I talk to people who are like, I only have eyes for one person, when I'm with someone, I don't even see anyone else. That sounds amazing to me. I don't relate, but that sounds incredible to me.
Can we talk about NBT?
Yes.
Which is not a sex move.
Yes.
Or I guess it could be.
Going back to our stripper protocol.
Applicable in all areas of life.
Yeah. So this again is a stripper tip, which is NBT stands for never be typical. So always keeping the conversation interesting by talking about the finer, richer, more dangerous things of life. So financial splurges, vacations, decadent foods, fantasies, sex, and then keeping the conversation both weird and sexy. Okay. And so weaving the things together, right? Like I bring up the thing of like, if aliens were here, what kind of sex think they would have? What would be their favorite position? So yeah, strippers just know how to keep you excited. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, the edge of life. When we think about the topics we probably discuss on vacation, it probably is in that realm too, of like the non-typical dialogues, more about like the decadent side of life. So then why not weave that into your everyday interactions?
Totally. And if it's not natural to you, I mean, you've talked about this in your class. There's such a rise in people just talking about using AI to write these type of things for you. If it's not totally natural to you, I don't know, have AI write a couple what if aliens had sex, what position would that be? Because that wouldn't naturally come to me, but I would love that conversation, you know?
Yeah. And again, this is with your partner in your marriage or whatever, or flirting with someone at a bar. I like this very like don't be basic kind of thing. But
Yeah.
yeah.
They actually say that there's like 5 levels of communication that go from facts, routines, opinions, feelings, and then diversity of thought, which means like letting somebody into your inner world where like things collide, they don't always make sense, you're questioning things. And so in most long-term relationships, people actually stay between levels 1 and 3. They're just communicating about routines and facts and opinions, but they don't talk about feelings. They don't talk about their inner world because you just get into that rut. So almost especially in long-term relationships, should you go by the NBT rule?
I think it can be very natural for people with children to only talk about the children, or even me and Ashley. Like we have to remember to like joke around about stuff, you know? Because it's so much about like the tour and work and 2 episodes a week and the guests and what's it going to be about. And like we have to remember that we're like friends.
Yes.
And we don't just run business.
I love the shrug with it. We're friends.
Most days. But you guys work together too.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
we
business
do.
partners and parents together. Like, do you have to like remember? Like, also we're still fuck buddies.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, I don't know. Do you find it difficult to separate the two sometimes?
I don't, but I think that you're pretty good at it. When we go on a date night, I feel like Jared forgets that I'm his wife in a positive way.
In a hot way?
Yeah, because I see you what you'd be like on a date with people.
Yeah.
You just talk about really random topics.
Yeah,
You just go.
yeah.
So I love that. I think that you're naturally pretty good at that. And if we're not, you have to just be manual about it, like you said.
Practice or think about it.
Practice.
Prep.
Yes.
Write it down. Right. Like, here's the question I'm going to ask tonight on my date night with my husband.
And this is the gift too of the work that we do, is that like I'm always inundated with new ideas, with like fresh concepts. So I feel like that's something that you allow me to take the lead on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have the same interests. You know,
Yeah.
what connected us in the beginning was like talking about philosophy or talking about the world, or, you know, we go to restaurants and be like, what do you think everyone here is doing right now for work? Or,
Love
you know,
that.
just having conversations that I find it's easier now because we know each other so well. So, you know, just having those discussions are huge, especially at dinner.
Yeah. But then there's a large percentage of our day is just levels 1 through 3.
Yeah.
And that's cool too.
Yeah.
Because I like to get shit done.
Yeah, like your
Right.
kids have to be taken care of.
Right,
Like, they-
yeah,
when
we-
you're at-
We barely talk at work, actually.
Yeah, we barely talk at work. Yeah.
We're
And
kind
then
of
when
both
the
like-
kids are around, it's mostly like, did she have underwear? Did you get socks?
Right.
Did she
Are
brush
they
her
fed?
teeth? Is she fed? How much TV time did you say yes to this? Because I'm about to say no. Like that's the
Right.
dialogue.
So is there like a significant amount of mental gymnastics that allows you to like look at your partner through a different lens of like not just the parent? Is it second nature now?
I think one of the gifts that parenting has, I'm curious about your guys' lives right now. Our life is very structured.
Yeah.
So kids provide a lot of structure and a lot of routine. So I know what I'm doing every day from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I know what I'm doing from 9 to 5. I know what I'm doing from 5 to 8. And I know after 8 p.m. is a time that I get to be a human being. And I know this. So my brain already just naturally goes into these flows because this is my life every single day.
Yeah.
Do you feel like your life has structure?
Yes.
Very much.
Now more than 7 years ago. Like, I mean, my partner just moved in, so now that feels even more structured, where like we go to bed at this time, we wake up, we cook dinner, but we don't have to. We could also be like, let's go crazy and go out. You know, like it doesn't, we can be spontaneous. We're like, we don't have kids, you know, no offense, but it's just,
No, that sounded nice.
It
That sounded like a fantasy.
it's certainly gotten more structured. I don't know. We operate when we're like touring or whatever. Like our life is so like exciting and crazy and chaotic, and then when we're not, it's just a little more relaxed and structured, I guess.
I think Ashley and I are very prepared and we know we have to get done, and that allows us actually to let go of some of the structure. So every morning, the first thing I do, I pour a cup of coffee, I make a list. I have 2 lists. On the left-hand side, it's work. On the right-hand side, it's personal life. And just looking at that and saying to myself, this is the goals for the day. This is what's important. That's the structure I provide myself. And then I can deviate from that. Like that helps me to feel in control, and then I can kind of flow with my day.
Yeah, and I mean, in the relationship side of it, like he and I were long distance for a really long time, so like things had to be planned out. Like he surprised me once, flew here, you know, that was really special. But like otherwise, we had to kind of like sit down and open our laptops and like book travel and flights to make sure it like worked out with his schedule, my schedule, our tour schedule. So like we entered in the relationship with a little less ability to be so spontaneous because of the distance. So I don't know. I like both. I think you can ebb and flow in your life. Like you don't have to be crazy structured type A all the time, and then, you know, spontaneous type B. I don't know. I think you can like flow between the two.
Yeah, I mean, we value structure so much right now that it's like so huge. I don't think we could operate and have a healthy dynamic between our relationship and have a healthy work lifestyle without the structure.
And kids who are alive.
And kids who are alive.
Kids that are alive.
And what about your sex life? Like, do you find that to be structured, or is that still spontaneity, or how?
A mix of both.
Okay.
You know, there's times where, you know, even just like a quick thing like,
Yeah.
are we making love tonight? You know, even like a quick thing that, and it's just even early, and it's like, oh, I'm looking forward to it now. I can think
Okay.
about it. And then it is kind of
Oh.
scheduled. Or, you know, I always say we go on like spurts. So like there'll be a time like if that well gets broken every day for a few weeks, it's going to be every day. But then there's times where we're just tired. We
Yeah.
can't do it, you know?
Yeah, I would say it's more structured. I would say, like, to go back to that point, I think that we had a harder time before kids going from work mode into lovers mode because there's like no clear ending for where one thing had to end.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
now there's like these really clear separations. Of late, we've been launching a few things. So when the kids go to bed, we go to work. And even like last night, we were supposed to work late and I was like, yo, let's just go to bed. Like, because if we get into this flow, then there's no time for that. So I think they just create this like natural forced structure in our lives. But we used to have day sex. We don't have that anymore. So that's the thing of the past. Now it's got
Maybe
to be.
today.
What? No, we got to go back and talk to that lady. We're in a time limit at all times. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys like what the self-talk is like? Because I'm sure you've mastered this. Like, so you'll have times where you're just fucking every day, every night. It's amazing. And then you go through these drier spells. Like, what is the self-talk that helps you to overcome the like, is this our new normal forever?
It never comes into my head. I mean, do you feel that? When we're in the dry period, like, is this going to be how it
Not
is forever?
now, but like we're just at the benefit. We're coming up on like 10 years of fucking, you know what I mean? So we've been married for 6.
Yeah.
I think that we're just at a different place now. We were talking to the day. So I define great sex as giving freedom to explore new things, try new kinks, explore different sexualities, explore yourself, freedom from any limiting beliefs that tell you that you don't have access to your body. You can't do something because you're too young, you're too old, you're too white, you're too black, you're too fat, you're too thin. So freedom from just to be like, no, there's no script that tells me how I can explore and delight in my own humanity. And then lastly is freedom not to, which essentially means like not having sex is an act of good sex. Saying no is an act of preserving your yeses for when it really matters and you can really be in it. So you need all of those components to have a great sex life. So I think through the years, we've just touched on different phases of working on each one. You know, we had to dismantle so many of our belief systems when we were becoming parents. So there was so many things I had to get freedom from. I remember after I had my second kid, like my body went back to the way that it looked. My clothes fit, but they didn't suit me. And I was like, what am I now? Who am I? And I had to really realize were a lot of the ways I was thinking about myself and my sexual self, things that were told to me or things that I believed now. And then where was the marriage between the two? So I think going through those phases naturally and then coming out on the other side of it and still loving each other and still loving the sex that we've had has just given us the confidence to feel like, yeah, if we go through a dry spell, we know that's for a good reason. Like, again, saying no to sex for a period of time because you don't want to means the sex coming up is about to be really, really fire.
Yeah.
I think you talked about that on our last episode, just the seasons. I think you were maybe one of the first guests that kind of used that language that I really liked. And I think kids obviously play a huge part in that. But even if you don't have children, like life goes in seasons. So I do think people, like the question you asked is just like people start to panic if it's been a while. They're like, this is it. It's over.
Yes.
The passion's gone. And to that point, you speak about that as well, like when the passion goes or the honeymoon phase is over, but that lends itself to freedom. Can you explain kind of what that means?
Yeah, there's a delicate balance there. And I went through this during pregnancy too, of like going with the flow versus fighting the current. And you're going to have to intuitively know when it's time to do either one. There's going to be times in your life where you have to fall into the season and be like, you know what, it's just a dry spell right now. It's the way that we're in. Just let the current just take me where it's meant to. And there's other times where you have to be like, this doesn't feel right. I'm going to fight against the current and it's going to feel like a struggle, but we're going to create a new momentum. We're going to create a new normal together. So I feel like we've gone through both periods where we've just accepted, yo, the vibe is just not there. Let's just let it sit. And times where, as Jared will say, like, what do you always say?
I would say I'm not going to let life make me its bitch. So I'm going to fight back.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight
Right.
back.
Yeah. And that's when you're just like, nah, I'm not sleeping. But guess what?
Yeah.
He came 5 times last night. Like,
Damn.
He
Jared?
didn't.
Oh.
We literally, last night, I literally looked at Jared because he's feeling a little sick right now. And then I was like, our classic question, I'm like, do you want to have sex tonight? And then he was like, I will, but I'm tired.
I will.
Well, because I never have a bad time.
Right.
Like
How
if
could you with her?
Yeah, I would just, I might not be like, oh, I got to get myself ready to do this. But then, like, when I'm in the act, I'm like, this is great. I'm glad I made the decision. So, like, there's never a time that I choose to have sex that I'm like, I wish I didn't do that.
So the MasterClass is about sex appeal. So like, if you're just like, I'm not feeling it right now, if the general people are just like, I don't feel sexy, I don't feel in the mood, do you have like good tips or tricks?
Well,
Both of
Shan's
you.
really good at this conversation because there's a lot of times there's like fire escapes that she can go through to like figure it out. Like maybe it's the way that we have been approaching each other on our intimate side. Or maybe it's like you call it chore play, or like maybe there's just something about me that's not turning my partner on all the way. So let me like kind of diagnose and figure out what it is. Sometimes it's not as obvious, and they might not even know. It's probably subconscious. It's not as obvious as like, oh, you haven't washed the dishes, but it's like, you know, there's an approach that you're doing that's just they're not finding attractive.
What's chore play?
Yeah, so this is turn on triggers. Good segue. This is my guy, you guys. This is my guy. Turn on triggers in essence is when you first get into a relationship, you don't have to think about starting the fire. You just look at the person and you're like, I want
that's
you.
it.
And especially long distance relationship, I'm sure it was on site, right? And now that you live together, it actually would be pretty inconvenient if it was on site because
I had a fear about this of like, how do you go from long distance to being together all the time?
Yes.
I don't want to cut you off, but yeah.
But yeah, you have to actually embrace the fact that the passion isn't always there. You have to embrace the fact you now have to create the fire. It's not just natural. So turn on triggers is a way of starting the spark. And then the other person has to pick that up and say, okay, do I want to carry the flame now? And so people have different turn on triggers. Some people's is direct. Mine is direct. I need really direct compliments about how I am turning you on.
Okay.
I don't want to just hear that you're horny. I want to be like, yo, that dress
Yes.
is fucking hugging your curves and I want to hump you.
Okay.
Like, it's got to be something that's like, you are making me like that. Jared's turn on trigger. He's more of a sensualist. For him, things have to be clean. The smell has to be right. He has to feel like he feels sexy, like in his body. The
temperature.
He likes temperature. Temperature, yes.
Important.
So he's a sensualist. And so I have to keep that in mind. Like, sometimes for me, if I'm getting horny, I might just want to say something. But then if I know that the setting around or if he's tired, it's just not going to be his vibe or his energy. Chore play is in essence for people who are like, I'm mentally overwhelmed right now. So it's really hard for me to drop into my body when I feel like I have 50 things I have to do as soon as we finish this. So if you just took off 10 things off my list, I might have the mental space to consider fucking your ass. I think that chore play really resonates for people, especially parents or people who live together. When you're like, yeah, I'd find you horny if you wash the dishes like you said that you would.
Yeah, create an environment for me that I feel like I want to get
And
fucked
take
in.
stuff off my plate.
Yeah.
Take something off my
absolutely.
plate so I can actually like focus and like drop into this. And then you have the cat and mouse or the pursuer. I'm actually very big on this too. This is something I really missed from the beginning of our relationships, period. I love what I call erotic ambiguity, which in essence is that delicious space where we know that we have sexual chemistry. We know we both want to have sex, but we don't know if sex is going to happen. And you get to play and be like, I don't really know. I'm feeling kind of tired, or I don't know if I should do it. Like, I'm not sure. And then I want to be chased and pursued. And so when you're in a relationship, it almost becomes assumed, right? Like, okay, if we both have the time, if we're both willing, we're going to have sex. And even during foreplay, I love erotic ambiguity. I still want you to feel like you may not get to put the tip in. And I want you to want to like try to convince me during it. So that might be someone's turn on. So for them, playing hard to get is not actually a no. It's an invitation for you to try harder to get the yes.
Oh, I love it. So can we talk a little bit about, like, now that we're in a sexy vibe, like picking who your sexual icon is or the type of seductress you want to be and like drawing inspiration from that?
Okay, let me ask everybody here the question. Who is your sexual icon?
Okay, so I thought about this. Obviously, I wanted to be prepared. Brina, I know yours so easy. Yours is so easy. It's Sabrina Carpenter. What do you mean?
I guess I don't think of her as my sexual icon.
Yes, she is. Right? It's like so obvious.
I guess I like threw back to like Marilyn Monroe. I like this like coquette.
No. Sabrina Carpenter on stage with the blowjobs
She is
and the outfits. And
she's very overt. I am a little
But
more
not-
overt. I'm not really like coquettish.
But
like,
you just are her. I thought you wanted to be her. This is crazy to me that there's any discussion.
I guess I think about a sexual icon as somebody I've thought about for a
You're
long
obsessed
time.
with her. She's all you've ever wanted.
So
She's your true Gayle King.
I'll let you guys talk and I'll come up with a better one.
You can't come up with a better one. It's Sabrina Carpenter. We've all decided that.
No, what do you mean? You're done here. I want to say Beyonce because I don't think it's that. But the reason why is because I love that she is like a bad bitch, but she still is like, I have a soft girl side and I want to please my man and I don't have to always be like, they have that nice flow. But she's not as the personality type you call it, like a no fucks given. She's not. She's more reserved. You don't really feel like you know her so much. Like she kind of keeps it in the box, and that's just not my personality at all. So then I just kind of went with Rihanna. I am a person that's like, I'm in charge. Have a dominant personality, but I still want to like be submissive with my partner and like please him, and you can do both. And so I like when women show that, like, but Rihanna's also just like, I don't give a fuck, and she'll say whatever, where Beyonce is just like, she's robotic almost.
She gives
sometimes.
all the fucks. Yeah.
Yes.
She deeply fucks with all the fucks.
Right.
Yeah.
So
All right, so who are y'all's sex icons?
90s, early 2000s, Brad Pitt.
I did not say. Okay, so the sex icon thing, you're just like see that person, emulate it. That's your
No, you
that's
know what's
your
actually
theory?
really, you guys have all done a great job here, because what the purpose of this really is most people are going to identify someone that they think is like, this person has everything that I want, that I don't have. But similarity attraction theory says that we're attracted to people who are just like us. So you are actually a lot like your sexual icon. You just probably haven't made those pathways, but you have made the pathways. Just like Sabrina Carpenter,
I am very
you be
similar.
on stage giving head to a microphone.
Yeah, that's me.
You got the blonde hair. You have
She's
the look.
funny.
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
short. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
So that's not the theory, is pick the sexual icon.
The purpose of this activity, so this is the Three Rivers activity we did, it's to identify the ways that you already are dripping in sex appeal. So not everything is something that you have to get, right? Our self-help culture tells us that we always have to get something more or aspire to something new. A lot of the times we already have so much existing for us. So when we think about sex appeal, we see this giant ocean that we have to fill up. And so the three rivers are like, what three ways are you already dripping in sex appeal? What three ways is your river already running over? And so when you think about your sexual icon, that's a way that you already have it. Yes, there's probably ways you can aspire, but most people, when you start really thinking about it, you're like, oh yeah, shit, like I am a lot like Dorothy Dandridge. Like I can actually see how I'm drawn to her, not just because she has everything that I want, but because she has a lot of things that I already have.
Is that yours?
What's yours?
I said Dorothy Dandridge. I don't even know where that came from. That's a good thing to pull
So
out.
that is yours.
Really, truly, it's Halle Berry. Really and truly, it is Halle Berry. Halle Berry played Dorothy Dandridge. So when I'm reflecting on Dorothy Dandridge, I'm actually thinking of Halle playing that role.
Okay. What about her? Are you excited? I mean, who wouldn't want to be like Halle Berry?
Yeah, I just think she is like innocent and powerful. And I'm saying that because I'm like, I'm not really innocent, but there's like an innocence and a powerfulness and just like a deep knowingness to Halle. And I feel like she's never unsure, even if she is. And now she talks about sex too, which is like so phenomenal.
Finally, we got there.
I know.
Well, can we talk about the Brad Pitt thing? And
Yeah.
Just why? I'm just curious.
I just feel like he gets it, especially that era of him. I feel like in interviews and the way he acted, you know, in the movies, and I don't know. I feel like he calls it.
That's the archetype. Be like, I like the conversation about like the art of seduction and the type of seductresses that there are and what you gravitate towards, because like some people would automatically gravitate towards a Sports Illustrated model or a playmate. That's not really where my head goes, or an old-timey actress. Like, it's funny that like it's musicians for us, like current musicians.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, who am I pulling from? I don't know. I thought about it. Obviously, Beyonce's the first person that just comes to mind, but I'm like, actors and actresses, I don't know, it's tough to know who they really are. I think we know who musicians are a little bit better than actors. I've always kind of felt like that. Like, I mean, they could still be playing a role.
But a playmate didn't come to mind for you.
Yeah.
Or like
A comedian. It's Nikki. Nikki Glaser.
But I just think like for me, what it was about him was he was like mysterious. You know, I read like an article where he used to like build a fire before he goes to sleep. Like just like interesting stuff about him that just made me go, that's kind of how I want to be.
Yeah.
You know?
He was like the OG sexiest man alive. You know, like back when that was like a real...
Oh my
like,
God.
A real award.
esteemed award. Now they can't even get anyone to do it. But
Is that how that guy got this award this year?
that's what they say. People don't want it as much. Like, of course they would have had Glenn Powell or,
Yeah.
you know, Miles Teller.
Is
or-
that what like the subheading was of the article? Of
Nobody
course we would have
wanted
had
it.
Glenn Powell. But
What's the subheading?
Because everyone's mad in the comments, like, why isn't it Glenn Powell?
People
They're
are like, I don't wanna be seen
obviously
as a
we want
sex
Glenn Powell. No one wants this anymore. It's not like what it used to be.
We have only a couple minutes left, so I thought maybe if you guys want to close out with your best tip for bringing sex appeal to the table. If there's one thing you can do today to just ignite your sex appeal inside.
I'll give a tip that was actually my first lesson ever on sex appeal. We had a girl in our group of friends who was my friend's cousin. So she was the tag-along friend, and her name was Anna. She always wore brown. plainest personality, most boringest voice. Definitely like the dud of the group, but it was my friend's cousin, so she was always around. Whenever we would go out, everybody would flock to Anna. And we would be so confused because we had, our airbrush t-shirts, our airbrushed Air Forces. We had like lime green picks in our hair. We were big, we were boisterous, we were loud, we were doing all the things, the sexy eye triangle, we were flirting. We're like, why does everybody flock to Anna? Went to a celebrity basketball game once and we were in the bleachers having a ball, doing all the right things. And then lo and behold, the game ends. The biggest celebrity, both in size and also in like meteoric status, comes up to the bleachers towards our group, and we're all like, it's happening. We're going to the penthouse. And he walks right up to Anna. We were like, the fuck? So after he left, she got the number. We're like, Anna, what is going on?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, when I see a guy that I'm attracted to, I just look him in the eyes and I picture having sex with him.
In my head to
Boring
toe
ass
brown.
Anna?
Yeah.
Okay,
She just
Anna.
pictured sucking their dick. And
She manifests.
Telepathic. Yeah.
I actually do this whenever I get my photo taken. Like if I'm doing headshots or taking pictures,
I love
I
this
always look into the camera and picture myself having sex with the camera person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love this tip.
Right. I think if you do that, it's written all over your face. You're exuding it. Like
Yeah.
you're literally
You're putting yourself in heat.
telepathically, fucking somebody. It's the new eye fucking. It's the mind fucking.
Right.
And it
then
also
if you-
sounds like she's not the girl in the group that's the loudest, the dressed the craziest.
Yeah.
Like it's a quiet confidence almost.
But I think if I'm just like looking at, if you really start to imagine it, your lips are going to flush, your breathing's going to become shallow, your pupils are going to dilate, your shoulders are going to drop, your voice is going to drop. You're going to start to primp yourself. You're going to start to do all the cues. We're all designed to be able to interpret sexual cues. Like we're all here because our ancestors were able to successfully do that. So if you're doing that and you can really put yourself in there, like that's a very good talent to have because she must have an amazing imagination.
It's so
Yeah.
funny though, because if you start doing it and then you're like, and then you're just looking at someone like, ew, I actually don't want to do this. Like if you're imagining having sex with someone and then it turns.
Doesn't
and
that
you're
happen to you like the grocery store?
I actually think they wouldn't be good. And then you're just looking at someone like,
But
ew.
you can't just like have the thought cross your mind because men think about sex all day long. So it can't be like, oh, I want to fuck her.
No, like
you
you
have
using
to
your imagination.
actually go there, take their clothes off, see their body for the first time, touch them for the first time, get close and smell them, make out with them, like grab their bulge. You have to do all of that in your mind.
in your head.
Wow.
Okay, Anna.
Just stop listening to your friends out in public. All right,
I'm not gonna
Jared.
follow up with that.
No, you
that's the
have to
tip.
do it.
That's the tip.
You've got
That's-
good ones.
I don't know what I'm going to follow up with that.
Or if you so like what's something that is unexpectedly really sexy when you meet somebody out that like people don't even know they're being sexy?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think for me, the thing that I've noticed that will catch my eye is clothing. I think it's a language. If you're trying to attract someone that's in the same, I guess, interest area, you might wear a piece of clothing that is like really exclusive or really this, and I kind of notice it, and then it just opens up a conversation or us to connect, and I know that your interest areas are the same as mine, but it's not as good as like picturing having sex.
That's
with
actually
them.
a pro tip, though. It really is.
Yeah.
When I did my book, we did makeovers. And one of the girls had this amazing curly hair. And I was like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you this like cascading throw over haircut. It's going to be really sensual, give you highlights. And she was like, no, I want to dye it green and I want a mullet. And I was like, okay, Maya, let's talk about this. Like the purpose is to draw people in. But within her given community, that look hit. So understanding the language of seduction within your given culture, because seductiveness is a secret, right? The mystery component of it. And the secrets are better when someone gets to intuitively know it. Like, oh, I'm in on the secret with you. So before we even exchange words, we have this moment. So I think it is so important to know who do you want to attract and like what can you wear or do that communicates like you already know me.
Well, and everything sends a message. I used to say when I was doing a red lip for a minute and like I never got so much attention. I think it's just like a bold statement, and this is back in Atlanta. I don't really fuck with a red lip much anymore, but I don't know what it was. There's one weekend I went out, I was like, whatever it's saying, because I think it's confident and bold to do like full.
I
you know
love
what I mean?
your red nails.
Oh, the nails get a lot of
So
attention
I used to
too.
do neon green nails, and there was not a man alive that did not comment on them. Every single man, and red nails as well.
Well, that's
constantly
like a TikTok
commenting.
thing too.
Yes.
All these things are like subtle messages
Totally.
we're sending.
That invite conversation. I mean, if a man compliments me on my nails, that might be a line that every man on earth knows. I don't care. I love it. I love when a guy's like, I love your manicure. I'm like, let's fuck.
They're like, they know he's like, it reminds me of my mom.
do you want these fingers in your butt?
That's what it is. There's a whole thing of red nail theory and like why men are attracted to it. And a lot of it comes from like their moms.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was amazing.
Yeah.
And Ashley and I encourage everybody to watch your class on MasterClass. And also, I listened to your book on Audible, and I like listening to you narrate it. And
Real friends.
That's a good book to listen to.
it's a good book to listen to. I really enjoyed it. It's just an added level of fun.
We've played with your vibrators.
Oh, we're going to send you home with vibrators.
Yeah, we
obviously.
already
have a new
have some
cock
at
ring,
home.
but we have a new cock ring we love. It's
Oh,
so
congratulations.
Yeah, it's called the Bond Band.
Hey.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Well,
hook
tell
you guys
everybody
up.
else where they can find everything, your Instagram, your website, your podcast, everything.
I'm going to plug the class on MasterClass. It is the greatest work that I've done in my life, and I'm so grateful that my partner got to be a part of it. It was such a dream come true to have you on set.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a good time. And then, where can they just no follow, no nothing, no Instagram?
Well, I think you get one wish
Okay,
with people.
okay,
I feel like you could confuse them.
Are you the person that taught us that, the one wish?
Maybe.
I always think about it. I think you get one wish.
Maybe it was Shan.
Yeah, I do that for sure. Because then it's just like, I'm not going to go to 70 different clicks. But
Right.
if I just say
Well, maybe they
masterclass.com/Shan.
Now they will. Actually, the person that would is going to find you off of MasterClass.
Well, Jared gets one wish. So
Okay.
you can plug her whatever.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Or your own.
Jared gets a wish.
No, something I'm really excited about is Shan's podcast that we've been working on. And that is going to be coming out. It's called Lovers by Shan.
Jared Crave directed it. It's
Yeah.
stunning.
Okay.
It's actually really, really special. I hope that we're going to change the game. I hope next time I'm on the show in a few years, you're just copying our style.
Oh,
we think
yeah.
it's that good.
Wait, did you post, was your first guest going to be Rihanna?
No, that was like a
That was
fantasy.
a wish.
No,
that
it
was her
wasn't.
one wish.
That was my one wish.
You posted about it of what you
Yes.
wrote that and anything.
Yes.
Yeah, so
our first guest is Mario. So same.
Oh.
You know,
I love it.
as people often say.
Yeah. Favorite song. Yeah. Tell Mario what's up. Okay. And our website is girlsgottaeat.com. Girls Gotta Eat podcast on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Ash Hess. Raina's Raina.Greenberg. This is Too Many Wishes. And you can subscribe on YouTube. And we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.